Yo, what is going on, part-timers? Zach here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the new Transcendent. This is going to be our boy, alter ego Cam, basically, and we're going to be talking about him. I wanted to do a little bit more of a showcase. We're going to have a little bit of guide elements into it, but it's just going to be more or less like, hey, this guy's a lot of fun, and here's kind of what you can expect from him. So you actually do get him free at level 52. So if you're level 52 and above, you'll get him for free. You'll get his 5-star weapon, and you will get all of his memories. And that is kind of it. So he's pretty straightforward when it comes to actually building him out. So we'll just go ahead and take a brief look at what you can expect to get if you don't have him yet. This is our boy. He's going to be level 60 when you first get him. You can level him up, obviously, and then you get a level 25 weapon for a 5-star here. And here is his memories. So I'm not going to spend too much time because basically you just want to use his memories. They do a lot for him, and they really just reference him. You can see that it's a 6-piece set. So if you guys are normally used to, you know, the 2 and 4 here, this one goes up to 6 because it helps out quite a bit with Transcendence. And you can just see it does stuff like damage dealt, speed, all kinds of different things with fear, and giving you a little bit more of an idea when he goes into his berserk mode, which we're going to be talking about his skills actually right now. So let's go ahead and jump into his skills. Hopefully you guys are going to like the overlay though, because I put a little bit of time into this one. So definitely let me know what you guys think about the overall overlay while I'm going over here and trying to find the skills. So let's go ahead and jump into the red orb. So this is going to be spins and slashes nearby enemies, then knocks them into the air, dealing 2 hits for a certain percentage of damage here, of physical damage in total based on the number of orbs pinged, dark damage instead on a 3 ping, and then berserk mode. So this is going to launch 2 swift attacks that deal a certain percentage of dark damage in total, and a heavy attack that deals a certain percentage of dark damage as well. So moving on to his yellow orb here, dashes forward and slashes the enemies twice, dealing a certain percentage of physical damage in total based on the number of orbs pinged. You can see 1, 2, and 3, and then dark damage instead on a 3 ping. So a little bit of that flexibility there. If you want to do a little bit of physical damage, you can. On a 3 ping, he will be doing that dark damage. However, if you are on berserk mode, which is going to be his ultimate, teleports to an enemy and deals a certain percentage of dark damage, then conjures spikes from the ground to deal another percentage of dark damage as well. So that berserk mode is going to be his ultimate, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. So blue orb, dealing a certain percentage of physical damage in an area on the orbs pinged there, and then dark damage instead on a 3 ping, and then gaining a shield equal to a certain percentage of his max HP for 5 seconds. Berserk, again, going to be that all is going to be pulling the enemies to the front, dealing 2 hits for a percentage of dark damage total. Now, talking about his basic attack, this is going to be called Phantom. It launches consecutive attacks that deal a certain percentage of physical damage in total while you're in your alt layer. For berserk mode, it launches swift attacks that deal a ton of damage for dark in total as well. And then moving back into the signature here, this is going to be your ultimate. This is going to cost 80 energy to enter berserk mode, which is tying into all those different things that allow you to do a little bit more of that dark damage, and you are immune to damage during this moment. When in berserk mode, a dark impulse gauge will appear. Cam gains super armor, and dark damage increases by a certain percentage. Red, yellow, and blue orbs are replaced by special ones. Only 1 orb of each color exists at one time. Each ping is treated as a 3 ping here. So ping orbs 3 at the very most will regenerate in 2 seconds. Except in matrix, dark impulse will be consumed over time. Whenever it nullifies damage taken by Cam, when it is emptied, Cam will exit berserk mode. So that is kind of everything going on with that. So let's go ahead and jump into his core passive here. This is going to be any 3 ping in the normal mode will accumulate madness up to 3 stacks. Once Cam reaches full madness, he will gain 8 energy from any 3 ping. When he enters the berserk mode, he will consume all madness snacks again and gain a certain percentage of damage bonus based on the number of madness stacks consumed. As you can see, the berserk mode here and the core passive are going to go hand in hand. It's really just a good idea to get those 3 pings up to those stacks in order to jump into your berserk. You're just going to do way more damage, and it's a lot more helpful. So talking about his leader skill here, all members dark damage increases by 10%. Attack of Vanguard Transcendence increases by 5%. So he is actually considered a Vanguard. He's not really an attacker or a tank or a healer. He's kind of like a weird hybrid. He's kind of a rushdown character is really what I would say. When it comes to using his ult, you really just kind of want to mash what it kind of gives you. Now, there is a certain like rhythm to it. You do want to like be able to pull him in, smack him down, do all that kind of stuff. But it's really just trying to be able to use as much as the ult as you can. Going back into the game here, you can see that he's just kind of off by himself in the Transcendent tab. So the thing about building a team around him is eventually you will get to a point where other Transcendents are out, and then you'll be able to do a lot more content, because basically the idea behind the Transcendence is there's just certain missions and levels in the game that just allow you to be able to use Transcendence in a way that'll give you extra damage, be able to give you some different things, and just really help out when it comes to building teams around Transcendence. Now you can use constructs, and you can also use dark teams. You can actually use the other cam if you want, the S cam, and you can use somebody like Watanabe if you'd like to do that as well, just to build a little bit of a dark team there if you have the units available. but it's really just going to help out being able to do some of those different transcendent missions. And that is going to be the bulk of what Cam can kind of do for right now. So it is going to be very, very important for you guys to build him right now, because they're going to be very prominent in the next couple of patches. So even though it seems like, okay, well, he doesn't really fit on a team, he is very important in order to build out the way that he works, because you're going to be able to use him so much, especially whenever other transcendents come out. And it's really going to help you out quite a bit, especially in Tower of Babel, because they actually have a transcendent level. So just keep that in mind as you're building out your units, that he is somebody to take into consideration, especially right now when you're able to pick some of his different memories up from the brand new supply shops. So for the last part here, I just wanted to kind of take my time to tell you guys what I think about him. I'm going to show some gameplay of me just going through some different things. I gotta say, he's a lot of fun. So obviously I think he's a little bit more simplistic than some of the other characters that you might be used to. For example, like Alpha having to time everything and having to make sure that, you know, you ping your certain orbs in a certain order and you're able to kind of hold on to things. And Bianca's a little bit easier, obviously, because I think her ult's a little bit more consistent. But I think Cam is just a lot of fun. He just allows you to like really play the game. You know, you just really want to jump in there, just smash some stuff, destroy things. And it really feels like Cam's like, hey man, you want to just hit things? All right, hit things. So obviously there are optimal things that you can do with him. Like I said, you really want to jump into his berserk. You want to make sure to get those charges up before you jump into berserk. That's going to help you out quite a bit with damage and just being able to do some different things like pulling and then smashing, so that blue is actually going to pull people towards you, and then red, yellow is going to do a little bit more damage. So you want to kind of time that in a way. You obviously don't want to use the yellow when they're really far away. It's not really going to help you very much, but you also want to use the blue to kind of bring them back in, so you're able to do a little bit of that damage. So there's a little bit of thought there, but mainly it's just going to be like, hey, how much time do I have to do as many attacks as I can while I'm doing the most amount of damage in berserk mode? But I think he's a lot of fun. I think a lot of people are really going to like him. So also concerning his 6-star weapon, I know a lot of you guys are going to comment, hey, should I get it? Should I look into it? What is going on? As far as I'm concerned about this one, if you guys are just using him casually, or you just kind of want to hop on him every once in a while, a 5-star weapon is going to be more than adequate enough in order to do a lot of the different content here. Now, if you're trying to get a little bit more competitive, you're trying to get a little bit more points, I would honestly take the opportunity to the fact that this is more of like a BC friendly type of event and jump on and at least try to get his weapon. It's 30 pulls. I know that's quite a bit. That could end up giving you like half of what BC you have right now, but it could be worth considering if you are going for some of those higher ranks, especially in the news maze mode, and you're wanting to get some of those different things. I think that it's going to really help out getting a 6-star weapon for him, because you're going to be able to do a lot more damage. And like I said, it's going to be a little bit more prominent with the transcendence as time progresses. So even though it's not going to make a lot of sense like right now with him being the only transcendent and only a couple of the stages really mattering, I think it'll matter a lot more when you're trying to build teams and you're trying to get a little bit more of an idea of what kind of stuff you can go with. With that also being said, you will also have time in order to get that 6-star weapon later down the road. So if you really are just trying to save BC for like Nier or any other unit, definitely just hold on to it. You can always get the 6-star weapon at any point in time, or if you're just like close to a pity or whatever, just go ahead and grab it or something. I think a lot of the times the 5-star weapon is going to be really good. So up to you guys, but I really recommend it right now if you have the BC in order to do it. I know Vera is on the cuff here. We're actually going to be reviewing her in the next couple of days here, because I found out that I was able to check her out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for you guys in the next couple of days. So definitely keep up for that one, and definitely let me know down in the comments if you guys need any help on some of this other content. A lot of people are asking about the maze. I can definitely make a guide on that if you guys are wondering what's optimal there. It's just going to work a little bit like Warzone, where you're getting a lot of those points and you're trying to rank up a little bit. So definitely let me know if you guys want to see a little bit more of that. So just a little bit of a PSA at the end of here. If you guys want to, you can join the guild. It's going to be part-timers. It's going to be on the North American server. So if you guys are on that server, feel free to join. It's really just going to be first come, first serve for the very first of it. I think I'm just going to try to gauge out, like, you know, who's active, who's inactive, who's kind of participating. I'm not going to be too much of a stickler on it. I just want it to be a little bit more fun. Obviously the name's part-timers, so I don't expect anybody to go super try hard on it, but it'd be kind of cool to put a little bit of effort into the guild and just see where it can go and see where it can grow into. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.